Welcome to the story of Oscar and Louise, episode 5. We're still in Riverview, and in this episode Lorna and Bluey have met and become friends. They get married and Louise is born. So next episode we're going to cover Louise's life from being a baby to a young adult. This is her father Bluey. And her mother Lorna. But they've just met, and when we finished episode 4, they were at the roller coaster lot, Sweetie Treats theme park, and they were enjoying a ride on the carousel. And I had commented on the way the cowards, they both are cowards, they're sitting there with clutching onto their poles as though they might fall off, whereas other Sims are sitting up straight. They do sit up occasionally, but mostly they just clutch the poles. Next, they get involved in an eating contest. Just the two of them. There's not many other Sims actually there at the park today. Looks like Lorna's winning. She's getting through her pile. Bluey's not doing so well. Uh-oh. What's up? He's sick. So that was it for the eating contest. Lorna won. I guess she's got a pile of sausages in her inventory now. Then after a while, they went and played a bit of pool. This became a favourite spot for them, and they came here often as they got to know each other better. So we'll just see them here for a little while. Gradually it got dark at their fair, and they went up top to the highest level, and they'd sat down and decided to watch the stars, even though there was a storm coming. Mostly they seem to have positive interactions. Every so often Lorna launches into her true self and they have a negative spat, but Bluey then thinks that it's obviously his fault. He's a bit awkward around people, and he's just lucky that this one is still sticking with him. He thinks that her company is on balance. She's pretty good to be with, and he can ignore some of the little bits of nastiness that pop out of her every so often. And she accepted his flowers. And then she gave him a big kiss. Wow. Things are going well. Lorna went home and left Bluey at the park on his own. So he had a drink. And he came back and he had a chat with the barista bar attendant. I'm not sure what sort of face paint he's using, but it's interesting. He went off and did that autonomously, so I don't know what he was. He just went off on his own. So you're going to get another drink, this time from the barista bar. At this point, something happens that I've never noticed before, never seen before. The barista bar attendant went off and got himself a cone out of the ice machine. Then he came and sat down at one of the chairs and enjoyed his cone. So when he'd finished his drink, he decided that he was hungry and went over to the fridge and got something out of it. I suppose we're getting to see some of the facilities of the park. Next thing, he spent absolutely hours at the claw machine, and he got a huge collection of bears, as well as a few other toys and some money bags. Being a childish sim, he will enjoy the toys. But I was thinking that it would save him having to buy toys for Louise when she's finally born. Because they don't have much money at home yet. He's only just started out fishing. We're about to sell some of these as well to help pay for extensions to the house. It's really raining out the side there. A bit like a tropical downpour, the sort that lasts for hours and days even sometimes. I might have to turn the rain off in this game, I think, because I don't want to have to sit through just rain for days and days and days. It's tired, time to go home. There he is exiting the park. It's got the barrier to entry system there. That fence came from Sweetie Treats. That was the Katy Perry Sweet Treats stuff pack. That whole park is actually based on that particular stuff pack. Another day, and they went to the coffee house for a meal together. So they're on a date, and they seem to be quite happy with each other. Get pink hearts over their heads. I don't think this pair will ever get red hearts, but they're making good progress. At least they can tolerate each other. Looks like Lorna's on her best behaviour. No, she's not. See, every so often she has to break out and reveal her true self. But Bluey forgives her. He sees it as a failing in himself when he gets upset with her. Constantly gives her second chances. After all, she can be nice sometimes, therefore she must be a good person. Looks like she's listening to a tabcast. This is the Supernatural Park, another one of my builds. It's got the 3 rabbit holes that came with the Supernatural pack: the Vault of Antiquity, the Gypsy Wagon, and the Arboretum. We saw her use the Arboretum in the last episode when she went on an adventure to search for fairies. Dip Kiss. Lorna can't believe her luck. This man is just falling for all of her tricks and ploys. She is a schmoozer though, and she needs to be. This is where they become boyfriend and girlfriend. her charisma skills improving all the time. But she still can't help herself. Every so often, she comes out with some nasty remark. And Bluey just brushes it off as though he misinterpreted it. He always puts it down to a problem with himself. Nothing to do with her. Some townie comes up and decides to intervene. Maybe she's got an idea of what Lorna's truly like and wants to divert Bluey from the direction he's taking with her. But Lorna manages to get his attention back on her again. The townie gets sent off. That's a little ablutions block there that I built. See, there is music on the lot. There's that music player on the wall there. There's toilets and a shower in that block that I built that there's near me with those little round windows. I built that one. Time passes, and a few months later, they're still going strong, still going steady, and thinking it's about time they moved on to the next step in their relationship. Bluey's got himself completely convinced now that she is absolutely the woman for him, a perfect angel, and if anyone says anything bad about her, he will leap to her defence, because he knows it's other people's interpretation, not the fact that she is just a mean, nasty individual. He does get upset with her sometimes, but immediately he convinces himself it was him, not her. And so he proposes marriage. And she's so excited she accepts it. This is her meal ticket for life. Because this guy is so easily manipulated. So now they can get married. They discuss it, and soon they set the date. And they have a garden wedding, and because Bluey knows most of the locals, he invited a few of the townies from around Riverview, and they had a wedding at the wedding arch in the gazebo. And so they were married. It's happily ever after for at least one of them. But Bluey will work out ways of coping because he's that sort of guy. And now they're on their honeymoon. They went to Sunlit Tides and they rented a huge house. And they had a wonderful time together. And Lorna managed to be on her best behaviour for most of their honeymoon. And it's not raining. And they decided that they'd try out all of the beds. Bluey was definitely enjoying his honeymoon. Now Lorna wants to have a daughter. She's always wanted a daughter. She doesn't want a son. So she will do what it takes to get herself a daughter and a father for the daughter who will take care of them. Bluey, of course, wants a son because he'd love to have someone to take fishing with him. And they have a chat about this, and they decide that they will try for a girl and a boy. Privately, of course, as far as Lorna's concerned, once she's got a daughter, that's it. And if they have a boy first, well, she'd soon find a way to make sure that she had little or no contact with the child, because boys, baby boys in particular, are just not in Lorna's idea of a perfect future for herself or her family. So here, Lorna is highly motivated to ensure that she begins her pregnancy for her daughter as quickly as possible, because once she has the daughter, she won't have any more need for Bluey other than as someone to earn an income for them. They decide to go out and enjoy the sunshine, and they're swimming. That's the house they've rented in the distance there. They play together in the sand, in the water, in the sunshine. They've managed to escape their honeymoon so far without any paparazzi's interference, but that could be coming to an end. See, they still don't have red hearts, even though they're on their honeymoon. They're just pink. Blue is still convinced that he's the one who's in the wrong whenever he gets upset with her. And she just doesn't care so long as she gets what she wants. Here comes the paparazzi. You see, one of Lorna's deep-held beliefs is you can do whatever you want with a man because they don't have feelings like women do. So you can say nasty things and be mean and horrible to them, and they won't notice. And Bluey is helping her reinforce that fallacy by constantly checking his own inner reactions and blaming himself for his own inadequacies whenever she says or does something that upsets him. So in his own way, he's enabling her to be the mean-spirited, nasty individual that she actually is. So now I think there's about time they went back to the house to try to escape that paparazzi. Lorna's got babies on her mind. Bluey's just enjoying himself, not thinking too deeply about what's actually going on. And the sun's still shining. And they're having a wonderful honeymoon. Just the two of them in this huge house in Sunlit Tides, and it's been sunny. Although they're trying the shower this time. It's quite a large house with a very small bathroom. That pool looks inviting. They did have a brief skinny dip in the pool, but I decided not to show that bit. I recorded about 2.5 hours of video, and I had to cut it down to 30 minutes. There's a lot of things got chopped out. So they're trying all the different beds. There's 3 beds in this house. Hopefully, as far as she's concerned, she's really, another bed now. She's really hoping that she'll be pregnant by the time they get home from her honeymoon. And then she won't have to bother about Bluey much anymore. Of course, once she's pregnant, Bluey will be full of the responsibility of supporting his family. And providing people outside of their household see a happy couple living a happy life, then he will be seen as being successful. And it's raining. So they will then concentrate on putting up appearances, that what other people think and see and find out about them becomes paramount. And whatever happens, however mean, nasty or horrible, nobody outside of the home will ever get a whiff of it. Of course, she's promised Bluey a son, because Bluey just so wants a son to take fishing with him. Well, it raining. The rain was set in, so they decided there was no much point wasting money on rent their house in Sunlit Tides, and they went back home to Riverview. They had their own bed in Riverview, and eventually they had the right effect, and here they are reading pregnancy books and listening to kids' music. Of course, the first thing Lorna did once Bluey was off at work fishing, she headed off to the grocery store and bought herself a whole lot of watermelon. Because as we all know, if you eat watermelon, you'll get a girl, and if you eat apples, you'll get a boy. And although she's promised Bluey that they'll try to have a boy first, she's secretly gone off and bought a whole lot of watermelon, which she has devoured greedily. They watch some of the kids' TV together, and they listen to kids' music together, but Bluey has eventually got to go off fishing, and he's been assured by his darling wife that they're well on the way to making their first son. Here he is, trying to earn money for his family, and it's the night of the full moon. Just watch the ground beside him, to the left of the screen. Something truly scary is about to happen. But Bluey doesn't notice. He's focused on his fishing. Fortunately, the zombie doesn't notice him either. Now Bluey's aware there's a zombie there. Maybe he should go home. It's a bit dark, and it is the night of the full moon. Be a bit scary if he gets zombified. He wouldn't want to upset his wife, Lorna. There's no knowing what she would do if he came home as a zombie. He's happy. He's getting a son. And having to watch kids' TV and listen to kids' music for such a long time gives Lorna a good excuse to just sit there and enjoy the TV and the music, while Bluey gets over there and gets into bound to business playing computer games. So this is how Lorna spends her entire pregnancy: eating watermelon when Bluey's not around, and watching kids' TV and listening to kids' music on the radio. They're both dreaming of babies. Bluey's still anticipating a son. Lorna knows fiendishly that there is no chance of him getting a son ever, but she's let him work that out gradually. She'll draw it out over the years because she's got to keep him interested. Otherwise he might just leave her, go off and make a new life for himself somewhere. She can't risk having that happen. So she'll keep putting it off, promising him a son when the daughter grows up a bit more, when there's more time, when they have more money, when the house is bigger. There will be always a reason why we can't have another baby just yet. And Bluey will spend his time waiting and trying to make the things happen that they're waiting for. And there's the raccoon. Have to have the raccoon in the game. Now this is a strange sim that's turned up. It took me a while to work it out, but it turns out she's homeless. So what I did was I added a building to Riverview as a place for the homeless Sims. I'm wondering if she might play a part in the next episode. I haven't recorded the next episode yet. So there we see Lorna's pregnant tummy. She's eating, not sitting in front of the TV, so we get a chance to see her. Oh, she's having the baby. It's time to go to the hospital. So she's had quite a good pregnancy. She's been just there watching TV and listening to music and eating watermelon.
Oats and pine! Oh! No, Barman! Oh!
Bluey hasn't showed up yet. He must have been at work fishing when it happened. But here he is. He's arrived. He's always there to support Lorna in whatever she does. Whatever goes wrong in their lives, Bluey will support her. Because he's that sort of bloke. Hello, we've got a girl. So Louise has been born. Excellent. Poor Bluey. He will be thinking, what's going on? Well, maybe next time we'll have a boy. Unfortunately, none of the traits that belong to our Louise were there in the list available for babies, so we only have another baby. Another girl. So they've got twin girls. I guess that's from all the watching of the kids' TV and listening to kids' music. This is little Leanne. Maybe Bluey will have to learn to put up with just daughters. At least he's got one to take fishing, because there's no way that Lorna is ever going to let him have anything much to do with Louise. Louise is her little toy, her victim. Louise will be treated the way Lorna sees fit. Bluey and Leanne will always be able to retreat to the fishing. Louise will always be at home with Mother. I think that's Leanne, that Bluey's there, tossing in the air and cuddling and getting to know. He's very happy with his little daughters, especially since he still thinks, well, one day we'll have a boy. But in the meantime, he'll get to know his daughters. So Louise has been born, and they've each got themselves an imaginary friend. And this is the end of the video. So thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed it. And I'll see you next time when we see Louise growing up from toddler to young adult in the next episode.